You've tried to declutter, but the mess keeps coming back. Why? It's not your fault. The real problem isn't laziness or lack of effort. It's using the wrong strategies for the season of life you're in. In the next few minutes, you'll discover 15 smart, senior-friendly fixes that finally make decluttering stick. We'll cover the mindset shifts no one talks about, the small habits that make a big difference, and the emotional traps keeping you stuck. Whether it's an overflowing closet, a cluttered kitchen drawer, or years of just-in-case items, you'll get clear, gentle steps to reclaim your space without overwhelm. These aren't trendy hacks, they're proven, practical changes designed for the way life really feels after 60. You've earned peace, simplicity, and ease. Let's make space for it, starting now. If you're over 60 and feel like you're constantly battling clutter, you're not alone. You tidy up one area, then turn around and see another pile waiting. It's not just stuff, it's the emotional weight that comes with it. The frustration of things never staying organized, the guilt of letting go, the overwhelm of not knowing where to start. It's exhausting, and it can make even the smallest task feel heavy. But here's the truth, it doesn't have to stay this way. With the right approach, one that respects your pace, your memories, and your needs, you can create calm, clear spaces that last. In the next 10 minutes, you'll learn 15 senior-friendly fixes that go beyond surface-level tips, real, practical solutions designed for the way life feels after 60. These aren't about tossing everything or chasing perfection. They're about making your space work for you, with less stress, less guilt, and more ease. You'll discover gentle mindset shifts, simple daily habits, and smart ways to keep clutter from creeping back in. Some of these tips might surprise you, but they've worked for so many others, and they can work for you too. Stick around. This could finally be the shift you've been waiting for. Fixes 1 to 5, mindset shifts that matter. 1. Stop aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Let's start with a truth that can be hard to hear, but deeply freeing once it sinks in. Perfection is not the goal. In fact, chasing perfection is often what keeps us stuck. You might find yourself thinking, I'll start decluttering when I have a full afternoon. Or, I'll tackle this when I feel more energetic, more organized, more ready. But here's the reality. Perfection creates pressure, and pressure creates paralysis. After 60, your time and energy are precious. Waiting for the perfect moment or perfect method often leads to nothing happening at all. So instead, shift the goal. Forget perfection, aim for progress. Can you clear just one drawer today? Can you set a timer for 10 minutes and see what you can do in that time? Can you let one item go, even if you're not ready to tackle the whole room? Every small step forward counts. Every bag you donate, every shelf you tidy, every old paper you recycle, it's all movement in the right direction. Progress is gentle. Progress doesn't judge. And most importantly, progress is sustainable. When you give yourself permission to make progress, you take the pressure off and give yourself the freedom to begin. And beginning is often the hardest part. So from now on, when you think about decluttering, don't think about finishing. Don't think about what's left. Just ask, what progress can I make today? You might be surprised how much lighter you feel, even after 5 minutes of forward motion. 2. Let go of guilt. Your items are not your identity. This one is especially important, and it's one of the biggest emotional blocks we face when decluttering. You pick up an old gift from a friend who's no longer with you, or a sweater you haven't worn in 10 years, but it reminds you of who you were back then, or the fancy dishes you saved for company that never quite came. And suddenly, you're not just holding an object, you're holding memories, relationships, identity, and the guilt creeps in. If I get rid of this, am I throwing away a piece of my past? If I donate this, will I regret it later? If I let this go, does it mean that part of my life didn't matter? Let's pause right here. You are not your stuff. Your memories, your love, your identity, they don't live in objects. They live in you. Letting go of an item does not mean letting go of a person, or a phase of life, or a part of who you are. It simply means you're choosing space, peace, and presence over clutter, burden, and obligation. In fact, decluttering can be a way of honoring the past, not erasing it. You're saying, I carry the memory, I appreciate the moment, and now I choose to move forward without this weight. Sometimes, that might mean taking a photo before you let something go, or writing down the story behind it, or even passing it along to someone who will use it with joy. But most importantly, it means releasing guilt. Because guilt only adds to the clutter, and you deserve a home that feels light, not heavy. And here's something else to remember. The people who loved you, the memories you made, the stories you lived, they are not tied to things. They live on in your heart, your conversations, your legacy. So when you hold something and feel the weight of guilt, take a breath. Ask yourself, do I want to keep this? Or do I feel obligated to? Is this item serving me now? Or just keeping me stuck in yesterday? If I let this go, what space would it open in my life? The answers might surprise you. Letting go is not a loss. It's a choice to make room for who you are today and who you're still becoming. And you are still becoming. 3. Memory is not equal to stuff. You can keep the story without keeping the thing. One of the biggest emotional hurdles in decluttering is the fear of forgetting. You hold an old photo album, a jacket that belonged to your spouse, a card from a grandchild, and your heart tugs. It feels like that thing is the memory, that if you let it go, you'll lose the person, the moment, or the meaning attached to it. But here's something to gently remember. Memories don't live in objects. They live in you. You are the keeper of the story, not the shoebox in the closet. The laughter, the lessons, the love, that all lives within your heart and mind. The physical object might remind you of it. Yes, but it's not required to preserve the feeling. And sometimes, holding on to too many memory items can actually bury the ones that matter most. When everything feels sentimental, nothing stands out. The most meaningful pieces get lost in the noise. So instead of keeping everything just in case, try this instead. Choose a few powerful items and release the rest. Here are a few gentle ways to do it. Take a photo of sentimental objects before you let them go. Write a short note or memory about it in a journal. Create a legacy box with just the most meaningful keepsakes, ones you'd want to share, pass down, or revisit. Or better yet, share the story now. Tell a child or grandchild why it mattered. Before the meaning fades with time, you don't need to keep the wedding dress, the entire dish set, or the 200 birthday cards to honor your life. You need the story, not the stuff. Letting go doesn't erase the past, it highlights it. It gives it space to breathe, to be remembered, and to be cherished intentionally. And when your home reflects only the stories you want to keep, it becomes a space filled with meaning, not clutter. So next time you pick up something that feels hard to part with, ask yourself, am I keeping the story or just the object? Because you, not the item, are the true memory keeper. For decluttering is self-care, not punishment. Let's be honest, decluttering doesn't always feel good at first. It can feel like work, like loss, like a reminder of how much we've accumulated, or how much time has passed. And when you look around and see years, even decades, of things piling up, it's easy to feel discouraged. Like this is a chore you should do. Or worse, like you're being punished for letting things get out of hand. But here's the truth no one says enough. Decluttering is not punishment. It's self-care. You are not clearing space because you failed. You're doing it because you deserve peace. You're doing it because you've spent a lifetime caring for others, working hard, keeping things just in case. And now, it's time to care for you. Decluttering isn't about deprivation. It's about freedom. Freedom from the visual noise that wears on your nervous system. Freedom from the guilt of unfinished projects and unused items. Freedom to walk through your home and breathe, without the weight of the past pressing down on you. Think of it this way. When you donate clothes that no longer fit, you're giving someone else the gift of warmth and comfort. When you clear a table or counter, you're creating space for calm, connection, and ease. When you sort through old papers and toss what's no longer needed, you're protecting your time and sanity. And every act of decluttering says this: my peace matters. My comfort matters. I matter. That's what self-care is, not spa days and bubble baths, but choosing what nourishes you over what drains you. And you don't have to do it all in a day. Start small. One drawer, one shelf, one category. Every item you release is a loving act for your body, your mind, and your future. So if you've ever looked at decluttering and thought, this is too much, or I don't even know where to begin, take a breath. Don't do it to fix something that's wrong with your home. Do it to make space for what's right for you. And remind yourself, you're not being hard on yourself. You're finally being gentle with yourself. That is self-care. That is progress. That is powerful. Absolutely. Here's a polished, emotionally grounded script for fix number 5. It's designed to maximize engagement, retention, and emotional connection while delivering clear, actionable advice for your senior audience. No visuals included, and it ends with the mini hook you provided. 5. Your home should work for your current life, not your past roles. One of the biggest sources of clutter isn't the stuff itself, it's what the stuff represents. Maybe it's the teaching supplies from your career as an educator, or the stacks of holiday dishes from decades of hosting family gatherings, or the treadmill in the corner you bought when you thought you'd turn the spare room into a mini gym. You hold on to these things not because you use them now, but because they remind you of who you used to be. But here's the question: does your home reflect the life you're living today, or the one you used to live 10, 20, even 30 years ago? You've played so many roles: parent, professional, caregiver, host, helper, and you've done it all with heart. But it's okay to acknowledge when a role is complete, letting go of the objects tied to that chapter doesn't erase it, it honors it by saying, "That season was beautiful, and now it's time for something new." Your home is not a museum of your past. It's the backdrop of your present. It should support who you are now, what you enjoy now, how you move now, how you rest, recharge, and connect today. Ask yourself, do I need this item to live the life I have now? Am I keeping this out of obligation to my past? If I were setting up my home today, would this make the cut? If the answer is no, it's okay to release it with gratitude. Because your time, your energy, and your space are too valuable to be spent managing objects that no longer serve you. Let your home evolve with you. Because you're not done growing, and neither is your space. Fixes 6 to 10 practical tips for seniors. 6. Ask, would I buy this again today? One of the most powerful questions you can ask while decluttering isn't, should I keep this? It's, would I buy this again today? Why does this question work so well? Because it cuts straight through guilt, nostalgia, and old habits, and brings you back to who you are now. You might be holding on to clothes that don't fit, kitchen gadgets you never use, or decorations that haven't been touched in years. But when you ask, would I walk into a store today and spend money on this? Your brain shifts from the past to the present. This question strips away the just-in-case thinking, highlights what's actually valuable to you today, reminds you that keeping something costs space, energy, and peace. If the honest answer is no, that's your green light to let it go. And here's something important to remember. You've already paid for it. Holding on to it doesn't make it more useful. Letting it go doesn't waste the money. It sets you free from a past decision. You're not throwing away money. You're reclaiming space. And space is valuable too. Space to move freely, to breathe deeply, to rest fully. So the next time you're stuck deciding whether to keep something, don't ask, do I feel bad letting this go? Ask instead, would I choose this again today? If not, it doesn't belong in the home you're building now. 7. Use the one-touch rule. Touch it once, act on it. We've all done it. You pick up a piece of mail, look at it, and set it down just for now. Later, you move it to a different spot. Then maybe it goes into a pile. And now it's clutter. This is where the one-touch rule comes in, and it's a game changer. The rule is simple. When you touch it, act on it. That means, if you open the mail, deal with it then, recycle it, pay it, or file it. If you bring in groceries, put them away completely. Don't leave the bag on the floor. If you pick up an item in the living room, don't just move it to another chair, put it where it belongs. Why does this matter? Because clutter often isn't about having too much stuff, it's about too many delayed decisions. The one-touch rule turns a habit of procrastination into a habit of clarity, and it makes your home feel lighter every single day. You'll feel more in control. You'll spend less time circling back to the same piles, and you'll stop the slow creep of mess that sneaks in. From, I'll deal with this later. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. Touch it once, act on it, and move forward. And if a task is too big to handle in one touch, that's okay. Just set a reminder or leave a visible note. So it's a conscious plan, not another forgotten pile. The one-touch rule keeps your home moving with you, not against you. Try it for 1 week, and you might never go back. 8. Keep what you use weekly, store or toss the rest. Here's a simple truth. What you use often deserves to be close. What you don't, doesn't. Many homes are filled with items that haven't been touched in months or years, and yet they sit in the most accessible spots: countertops, drawers, closets, and shelves. Why? because we think we might use them. Someday. Maybe. Possibly. But here's the problem. All that someday stuff crowds out the things you actually use and love right now. So here's the fix. If you don't use it weekly, it shouldn't live front and center. Keep daily use items easy to reach. Move seasonal or occasional use items into less accessible spots, storage bins, top shelves, or garage space. And if something hasn't been used in over a year, it may be time to let it go. This principle is especially powerful as we get older, because ease matters more than ever. You want less bending, less digging, less frustration. You want your kitchen drawer to open and only hold tools you love. Your medicine cabinet to have only what's active and safe. Your closet to contain only clothes that fit, flatter, and feel good now. When you limit your daily space to daily things, your home becomes simpler, calmer, and easier to live in. Ask yourself, did I use this in the past week? Will I need it in the next week? If not, can I store it somewhere else? Or release it entirely? Remember, your home should work for you, not the other way around. Every item you remove makes room for something better: clarity, ease, peace of mind. You've earned a home that flows. Let your weekly rhythm guide what stays front and center, and let go of the rest. 9. Label clearly. Your future self will thank you. You know that moment when you open a bin, drawer, or cabinet and think, what in the world is in here? You start pulling things out, searching, guessing, getting frustrated. And by the time you find what you need, you've wasted energy, time, and maybe your good mood. Here's the truth. You're not forgetful. You're unassisted. And the fix is simple. Label everything clearly. Labels are not about being extra organized or overly fussy. They're about giving your future self a gift, the gift of ease. Whether it's a bin of batteries or chargers, a drawer of extra toiletries, a container of seasonal decorations, or your medicine organizer. A clear label means no second guessing, no digging, no forgotten items. It takes the mental burden out of everyday life. And here's a powerful mindset shift. Labeling isn't just organizing, it's kindness. It's you saying, I care about my future self. It's you making life smoother not just today, but next week, next month, even years from now. Especially as we age, even the sharpest minds appreciate fewer mental tabs left open. And if someone else helps manage your home, family, a caregiver, or even a visiting grandchild, labels make it easy for them to help without having to ask you 20 questions. Don't wait until you forget what's in the closet or the bin or the drawer. Label it now, while it's clear, so it stays that way. You'll never regret having too many labels, but you'll always be grateful for the ones you made. 10. Use baskets and trays to create zones in every space. If your counters, shelves, or tables tend to become dumping grounds, you're not alone. It's not a clutter problem, it's a boundary problem. And there's a simple, beautiful fix. Use baskets and trays to create zones. You don't need expensive storage systems. You don't even need to toss everything out. You just need clear homes for the things you use most. A few powerful examples. A tray on the kitchen counter for your vitamins, glasses, and daily mail. A basket by your favorite chair with your remote, crossword, reading glasses, and lotion. A tray on the entryway table for your keys, sunglasses, and outgoing mail. A small bin in the bathroom for your daily products. No more bottles spread across the counter. These small zones create structure without stress. They contain visual clutter, prevent items from migrating all over your home, and make cleaning up feel fast and satisfying. More importantly, they match how your brain works, grouping things together by use, not just by category. This tip helped one of our viewers reclaim her morning routine. She told us, I was losing 10 minutes every day, looking for my hearing aid, my pills, or my watch. I made one small basket by my bed, and now it's all right there. I start my day calm, not panicked. That's the magic of zoning. Instead of telling yourself, I need to be more organized, tell yourself, this tray is where these things live now. It's not about discipline, it's about design. And here's a little secret. When something has a home, it's more likely to get put away, not because you're forcing yourself, but because it's just easier. Fixes 11 to 15. Staying decluttered long-term. 11. Adopt a one-in, one-out rule. Decluttering isn't just about letting go. It's also about what comes in next. Because the truth is, clutter doesn't happen in one big moment. It sneaks in slowly, one item at a time. A new shirt here, a gifted mug there, a flyer, a gadget, a deal you couldn't pass up. And suddenly, your once clear space is overflowing again. The fix? Adopt a simple one in, one out rule. Every time something new comes in, something old goes out. Buy a new pair of shoes? Let go of one older pair you no longer wear. Bring home a new mixing bowl? Pass along one you haven't used in a year. This rule keeps your space balanced without needing constant purging. It turns decluttering from a project into a gentle lifestyle habit. You don't need to get rid of things to punish yourself. You do it to protect your peace. Because every item you allow into your home comes with a cost. Not just in money, but in space, time, and energy. The one in, one out rule makes sure that cost never goes unnoticed. It's a small shift that leads to a big result. A home that never overflows again. 12. Schedule 10-minute tidy UPS, not big marathons. If the idea of a big cleaning or decluttering day makes you want to crawl back into bed, you're not alone. Marathon sessions are exhausting. And let's be honest, life doesn't always give us a whole day to organize. But here's the truth. Small, consistent action wins. Every time. Instead of waiting for the perfect day to tackle a whole room, schedule just 10 minutes a day. Set a timer. Pick one drawer, one shelf, or one pile. And when the timer goes off, you're done. No guilt, no pressure, just progress. 10 minutes might not seem like much, but over a week, that's more than an hour. Over a month, 4 to 5 hours of real, focused tidying. That's how change happens, not all at once, but little by little. This method is especially helpful if you get overwhelmed easily, you have physical limitations, or you just want to avoid burning out. It also turns decluttering into something you can win at every single day. And with every 10-minute session, your space gets a little easier and your energy a little lighter. Start today, even if you just clear out one nightstand drawer or toss expired pantry items. That one counts. 13. Keep a donation box ready, always. One of the sneakiest barriers to decluttering isn't emotional, it's logistical. You're ready to part with something, but then you wonder, what do I do with it? So you set it aside for now, and soon, it becomes its own new pile of clutter. Here's the fix. Have a donation box always open, always ready. Tuck it into a closet, your garage, or your entryway. Label it if needed. Make it a permanent part of your home, not for junk, but for generosity. Every time you come across something you no longer need, you'll have a place for it immediately. No decision fatigue, no pile shuffle. Just drop it in and move on. This simple habit removes friction from decluttering, keeps momentum going, and turns letting go into something positive and purposeful. And when the box fills up, take it to your local donation center or have a family member help. You'll not only feel lighter, you'll know your items might bless someone else who truly needs them. And here's a beautiful bonus. This mindset turns your home into a circle of usefulness. Nothing sits stagnant. Everything either serves you or someone else. So make that donation box part of your everyday rhythm. Because decluttering isn't just a one-time event, it's a kind way of living. 14. Create a maybe box with a 30-day revisit rule. Sometimes, the hardest part of decluttering isn't knowing what to keep. It's deciding what you're ready to let go of. Maybe it's a dress you haven't worn in years, a drawer of greeting cards, a box of knickknacks from a chapter long closed. You pick it up, hesitate, then put it right back, and the clutter cycle continues. That's where the maybe box comes in. Here's how it works. Set aside one box labeled maybe. As you declutter, place anything you're unsure about inside. Write today's date on the lid, and give yourself 30 days. If you don't go looking for the item in that time, you'll likely never need it again. This simple system gives you space to let go emotionally before letting go physically. Practice detachment without pressure, and stop clutter from boomeranging back into your home. It's a built-in pause button. And here's the key. You must revisit it after 30 days. Mark it on your calendar. Open the box. You'll often find that time has done the heavy lifting for you. What once felt too hard to part with now feels surprisingly easy, because clarity comes with distance. And if there's still something you're unsure about, it's okay. Put it back in. Try again next month. The goal isn't to rush your emotions. The goal is to create room for your peace. 15. Share stories, not stuff. Give legacy items intentionally, not eventually. This is perhaps the most powerful shift of all. Many of us hold on to things because we want to pass them on. Heirlooms, albums, china sets, handmade quilts, letters, tools, trinkets, treasures. We keep them tucked away, telling ourselves, one day, I'll give this to someone special. But here's the truth. The most meaningful part of your legacy isn't the item, it's the story behind it. And waiting until eventually often means those stories never get told. So instead, give legacy items intentionally. And now, choose one item. Call your son, your granddaughter, your friend. Tell them the story. Why this object mattered. Where it came from. What it reminds you of. What you hope it brings to them. In that moment, it becomes more than a thing. It becomes a connection. You'll not only clear space in your home, you'll fill space in someone's heart. And here's something beautiful. You don't have to give it all away. You can start with just one item a month, or even one a season. That slow, intentional process builds emotional closeness, preserves your voice and your values, and prevents your treasures from becoming mystery boxes later. When you pass on a memory with the object, you preserve its meaning. When you wait too long, that meaning can be lost. So ask yourself, what's something I'd love to pass on? While I can tell the story, then do it, on purpose, with love. Because legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's what you share while you're here. My own turning point came when I opened a drawer overflowing with old birthday cards, some from loved ones who've passed. At first, I felt guilty even thinking about letting them go. But then I scanned a few, saved the ones that truly touched my heart, and gently released the rest. And something surprising happened. It didn't feel like loss. It felt like peace. Like I was honoring the memory, not the paper. If you're holding on to things out of love, know this. You can keep the feeling, the story, the connection, without keeping every item. Decluttering isn't about having a perfect or spotless home. It's about creating space for the life you're living now, space to breathe, to move more freely, to rest without distraction. After 60, we've earned that ease. We deserve homes that support us, not stress us. When we let go of what no longer serves us, we make room for clarity, comfort, and calm. And that's not just organizing, it's self-respect. What's the one spot in your home that keeps getting messy no matter what you do? Comment below. I'd love to hear. And yes, I read everyone. You're not alone in this. And if this video gave you even one helpful idea or a little peace of mind, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. We're just getting started, and there are more gentle, doable wins coming your way. Let's keep making space for the life you deserve.